Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Hellblade, Senua Sacrifice blind. Now I'm here looking for those 3 runes, and apparently one of them is somewhere around here, but I must admit I don't quite see it yet. So maybe I'll walk around and try to find the others first. But I guess it also activates from down here, so it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be up there to notice it, but it would seem, it's pretty weird for such a good vantage point and elevated position to exist without being used for something. There was a moment where it flashed blue. Okay, there's something going on here. Again, it flashed blue for a splinter of a second, as if I was close to the actual correct position. If it's going to include all of the runes at once, then it's going to be some pretty elaborate design. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening. I guess I'll go around and explore all of the area. Okay, so there's very clearly one of them around here, and I almost see it because it's right here, right? I just need to align the okay, so I guess I am looking for them separately, but that doesn't answer my previous conundrums about why they were flashing, why all of them flashed blue earlier on when I was near the wicker gate of the fire god. Okay, there's very clearly something I'm supposed to notice in this area. This post looks kind of promising. Wait, I'm getting a little confused because I'm not sure why the P-looking rune is still on my tooltip if I discovered it already in this very hall, or maybe it was the other one, but that's besides the point. I think I didn't listen to that.
The Northmen say that what we see as a rainbow is the bridge that goes from the world of men to the world of the gods.
I actually did.
For now, they say the frost giants and the mountain giants cannot cross it. But they say that when Ragnarok
okay.
not a thing
It's pretty obvious
safe.
when you look at it now.
Bridge will break under the onslaught of
But
the
I guess I
fire
need to
giants
look at
riding
it
on
from
flaming
down there.
steeds. Senua, I have seen the fire of Surt spread far and wide, and to our lands. Ragnarok is coming.
Okay, so that only leaves me with one of the runes. Can I open the gate from this way? Okay, so that creates a shortcut. Wait. Ah, okay. Because I was confused. I was pretty sure I had the rune that looks like a P, but the other one is just a little similar at first glance. That's why I was confused, especially when you view it through this shadowy vision. I guess I'm supposed to find it somewhere around here, right? Because it is flashing all around. And if I had to guess, I would say the elevated vantage point has to have something to do with it. Because otherwise, what's even the point? Maybe it's one of those. That doesn't quite fit. I can't jump down from here. Wait. Maybe I'm supposed to use this pole somehow in conjunction. Okay, that's pretty cool. Like, I kind of love it, to be honest. It's very creative, and you know, the actual puzzle itself isn't that difficult in its construction. It's very obvious what you're supposed to do, and it's pretty much, you know, something that it's literally hidden in plain sight, and and whenever you get it, you have this aha moment when you realize that you've been walking around the solution for like a couple of minutes, and then all that you needed was to stand at a proper angle to see it fully. I'm definitely a fan of it.
Senua, if I can survive the fire of Surt and escape my darkness, then so can you.
Okay, I wouldn't be that certain because last time I ran straight into the fire and then died.
Run through the fire. Keep running. Go on. Nothing will stop you. Run, Senua. Run. Just 1 second through the fire. Head down and
She's dying. It's empty.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This darkness takes everything. Everyone.
Senua, are you sure you want to do this? We can fight this together, side by side. We always do.
This is my battle. I have to face it alone, away from here.
Where will you go?
I don't know.
For how long?
I don't know.
I believe in you. You know that. Just promise me that you will come back to me. I want you to say it. I want you to say it.
I will come back to you. I promise.
Come on.
take his mark, and I will cheat you from the earth and forever be in your debt.
You destroyed everything, everyone, but not me. Fight now!
She will die.
Oops.
Watch out! Search is getting stronger. Stop him now. Stop him.
Okay, I'm dead.
Quickly get up, they're coming! Focus, now, focus! Focus now! Stop them! Focus! It's the only way. Focus! Focus
I'm
now!
not even fully sure what I'm doing. Because it doesn't look like I'm
Focus! Focus!
hurting him very much. So maybe I should be doing something else.
Focus now!
The Triskelay on her belt is flashing, which I think might be relevant.
Focus, focus! Get up, quick! Focus now! Focus! She's injured. She can focus, focus! Focus now! Focus!
But I'm not sure. She seems to be locked on into fighting him, and I'm not sure how to even quit that mode. I was pretty sure I would be given the chance to dodge that, but apparently I don't quite understand how this works, which definitely makes me feel embarrassed because it's a pretty rudimentary fight system.
For every battle won, a greater battle takes its place. And so it goes. Until we fall. And in the end, we all fall. Even the gods have their time. Yet we still go on. Why?
I made a promise, and I will go to hell to keep it.
I die free, knowing you will carry my stories with you. I have fulfilled my quest.
Yes, you have.
When the darkness comes, I vow to guide you in this life and the next to fulfill yours.
Then I will see you in hell.
Be ready to face horror in the eye, as I have, to find your answers, your quest, your truth.
Okay, so earlier there was a scene of Senua talking with someone and making a promise that she would return to him, and she didn't have the war paint.
Was a troubled man, a scholar turned slave. They tortured him, took him with them on their raids, and drove him to madness. spreading this new form of darkness to new worlds. To my world.
She didn't have the war paint on her face, so I'm guessing it was a memory and not an imagined scene, and the fact that she didn't have the war paint was supposed to signify that it was a different time, but to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of anything so far. And also, even though I totally sucked, because first of all it was pretty difficult to see what was even happening with all of the flames, and second of all, I totally missed the clue that the voices were shouting for me to focus, and I needed to click E for Senua to, I don't know, enter like an, super warrior introspection mode, whatever. So I totally missed that. But
Senua saw a deep connection form between the Northmen and the darkness. If his tales of hell were true, then that was the source of it. She learned everything she could from him, until she too could see what he saw.
But even disregarding how much I sucked, overall, for someone who supposedly will bring on the end of the world, the God of Fire was a little bit of a wuss. Because if you disregarded the retries, which I think the characters in the world are not aware of, although I'm not sure in this particular case, because it very much seems that each time I die, the game sort of registers that I did, and it's evidenced by this growing rot on Senua's arm. So at the very least, the game's world is aware that I failed. Maybe I didn't...
Have you ever died before? It's a serious question. When the illusion of self is shattered, you simply cease to be. Though it may not seem that way to others, you know when it is true. You can feel it. A stranger in your own body. An imposter. And nothing is the same ever again. Senua has died before. She will do so again. You can be sure of that.
Yeah, so at the very least, the game's world acknowledges that I failed, even though maybe Senua doesn't outright die, although I guess this dialogue piece implied that she has died, at least in a metaphorical sense, many times before, so it might be what's happening every time I fail. She metaphorically dies over and over again, but that's besides the point I wanted to make, which is that if you disregard all of the retries, then the actual fight against Surd was pretty short, and like he's supposed to be like an ultimate badass or whatever, if you judge him by his role in Ragnarok.
Close.
Yeah, so I guess this solves the mystery of the Triskele, because it signifies basically my slow-mo mode, this mode of hyper awareness that allows me to better deal with my enemies, and I guess it fills in through the fight, so that the longer I fight and the more hits I score against my enemies, the more it fills in and allows me for a longer time to use this special mode. Okay, well, it's very clearly not that effective. I need to wait for him to expose himself. Or maybe I straight up need to use this.
The gate won't open.
She can't get through.
Why
Let's
not?
go to the gate.
She can't.
Why?
She's only done one test.
Just one.
She's only passed one test.
What's the other test? Is there another one?
Must be the gate won't open.
Truth said
Yeah, so as the voices themselves are telling me, I've only passed one test by defeating one of the gods, and this is, or at least their avatar or whatever, and this is the realm of the god of illusion.
Illusion hides the path to Valravn. Don't trust your eyes. Find another way to see the truth.
What's that even supposed to mean? At first I thought that maybe the rock itself is an illusion and I will just go right through it, but apparently that's not the case.
What's that? It's a wall. It's a door. No, it's a bridge. No, it's not. Push it. Push it. Push it down. What do you think will happen? Idiot. Come on, push it. She did it. She did it. She did it.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's intentional, and if it is, then I don't quite understand it, but there are moments in which the voices are almost like comedic, because one of them straight up said, when I was closing in, it said, "It's a bridge, you idiot," and the others were like conversing with it and trying to figure out if it's a bridge. One of them said it's a door or something like that, and they were having a discussion, which was a strangely humorous moment, all things considered, and I'm not sure what I think about it. Okay, so this leads me back here. He said not to trust my eyes, but I'm not sure what that means in practice. Okay, obviously there has to be some point to this elevated location here.
Something's different.
Change. Can you see it?
It's funny. We all want to see behind the veil, don't we? we do. We mostly just close our eyes again and pretend what we saw was never really there.
Okay, so I went through this, and it seems to have dispelled the rock that was covering the entrance, but I'm not sure what's the significance of that. Like I okay, it happened, but I'm not quite sure why it happened and what type of a lesson does it teach me for the future.
Senua never could close her eyes, however hard she tried. Begged. This is the price she pays for seeing things differently. Because once you gaze into the relentless darkness, all that lurks within it can see you too.
That's a kind of a variation on that very famous quote by Friedrich Nietzsche, right? Whenever you look into the abyss looks into you as well. Okay, there's some kind of a sacrificial altar.
Take him down! Take him down now! Don't give up. Behind you!
Damn it.
Defend yourself! Nobody cares.
She's scared, nobody cares. Again, that was strangely comedic, and I'm not sure if that's intentional, and if it is, I'm not sure if I really agree with that.
Find a good position!
Because to me, there's literally nothing funny about hearing voices. Oh damn it, I walked straight into that. And that last guy is T-posing, right? I'm pretty sure that was a bug.
It's nearly over. Finish it.
Okay,
The
let's...
Northman will not stop her. She will find what she's looking for.
Let's try opening the gate again. And it's another one of those symbols of the god of illusions. But again, and I'm supposedly going to look for another one of those wicker gates to dispel the door.
Valravan's power of illusion comes from ravens. Align the ravens to break his magic seal.
Show me what you have seen, Truth.
Ah, so I'm trying to like create my own Triskelion, or at least I'm not sure if this classified as a Triskelion, but it's somewhat similar in shape. Anyway, I'm trying to create this shape out of those, right? Which seems pretty difficult to me at first glance. Like, I don't feel like I'm in a correct position to do that.
To break the seal, align the ravens with the mark of Valravan.
But I guess maybe I can go up here. It is going to be easier.
Something's happened.
Okay, is that it?
Can you feel it?
I guess so.
Do you feel it too? It's like crossing into another world that looks the same but feels different. An lost world where the forest itself is watching. Another gate.
Another gate. You know what to do. Stay back. You have to open it. It's not safe. Don't listen to them. Listen. Don't. Open it. You can do it. Don't touch it. Step back. Come on.
To break the seal, align the ravens with the mark of Valravan.
Okay, so once again I need to position myself opposite of the gate.
Which ravens? Where are they? Can't you see them? Ravens.
Okay, this isn't quite it.
I hear something.
If you hear the song of Valravan, follow it, and it will lead you to him. But be aware of his illusions. You can't always trust your eyes.
To be honest, I don't really hear any song. I would like to get up.
Valravan song. Listen, focus. Focus.
Okay, I'm starting to, I guess, hear something like a chant.
Challenge me.
So I guess that's the god of illusions.
He's gone. He disappeared. Where did he go? Where is he? Find your foot.
It's cool how it looked totally different from this angle initially, and now it just turned into this bundle of propped up bones, you know, inanimate, then where a second ago it very much looked like a distinct alive character. But judging from what the voices are telling me, I've apparently done something wrong. Okay, how would I... So obviously I need to align those elements with the symbol on the gate, but I'm not quite sure how to do that, because I would need to get up here somehow. And it doesn't look like I can climb. Can jump or anything. I guess I wasn't here. Okay, so presumably I opened this from the other side later on. Okay, but this straight up leads me back to where I already was, and I don't think there's any way to get past that iron gate through here. Yeah, that's straight up backtracking. Yeah, this very much looks like a place I would visit later, and then open the door to get a shortcut to this area. Wait. Didn't this area fully change? I was pretty certain there was once... Whoa. Okay, that's cool. How it totally changes depending on whether I look through this gate area or not. Does it do the same from the other side? Doesn't look like it. Because I thought at first maybe I can utilize that to create like a better vantage point up here, like a staircase I could get at or something, but apparently not. Now let's check going through here. Maybe the rest is actually different as well, and it'll help me align those ravens better, but it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I was here already, and at least according to the voices, I've done something wrong, but it would be pretty weird if the game, like if I locked myself in by accident. That would be a pretty steep punishment for a mistake. So surely there is still some way to progress. I'm just not quite seeing it at the moment. It seems to be pointing at something. Ah, okay. I'm just dumb. It's another one of those like gates, and I guess it changes. Yeah, it changes my perception of the area behind it. It's cool. Yeah, right. And now there is a way to get up here because it's different, and it should let me. Oh, that's the god of illusions again. And again, observe how it's the same setup, you know, a bunch of bones with like a crown of feathers, but here he's very much quote-unquote alive. He's moving around and all that, and it is very much different to this static version of him, and I guess he's going to transform again when I get too close. You know, he will just change into a bunch of static objects as opposed to something that feels and looks alive. Yeah, right.
Is she lost? It wouldn't be the first time. Last winter, before the tragedy, she journeyed into the wilds of her native land, living off berries, roots, and rabbits. It's not uncommon, you see. We call such a person a Gelt. Some, like Truth, become Gelt in search of penance. Others, like Senua, to purge a curse. Those who make it back are forever changed.
Okay, so it very clearly mentioned a tragedy, which is something I myself was wondering about earlier. You know, what kind of trauma did Senua live through that caused her to develop all of those psychiatric symptoms? Okay, I guess I can't open that. And also, apparently she lived as an exile for some amount of time, as did the shaman. So maybe that's why they captured him so easily, because he was living on his own.
She can get up now. What's happening? She can get up now. She can get up.
Yeah, and there is a staircase now, because it's different now that I've crossed through this.
How can she get up?
It's very cool. I like it, especially when you just walk past it and see the world changing literally before your eyes.
It's magic. It's an illusion.
Okay, so presumably now I should be able to get back there and climb the stairs to align the ravens properly. And it's cool how it linked those two pieces of the ruin from before, because this part actually already existed, and this ending part as well. It was only that the staircase was ruined, so you couldn't reach this highest point here. Okay, so that should open the gate for me. But this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to cross the gate in the next one, and for now, that's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!